college student pulled into an alley and attacked. Tonight, a sketch of the person police say is responsible and why investigators think this may not be the only incident.
The rain, the hail, lightning all moving out, the wind moving in. How strong these gusts will be and what kind of issues they'll bring across the area.
The IRS under fire. Employees who didn't pay their taxes given big bonuses.
And a breast milk battle with the TSA. How one woman's lawsuit could change the way new moms are screened.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 5 starts right now.
Have you seen this man? Investigators say someone who looks like this attacked a Harvard student in Somerville. Now, the student wasn't seriously hurt, but the incident does have people on edge. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being with us. I'm Paula Evan.
And I'm Bobby Siskin for Jonathan. Police say Monday's attack is similar to one earlier this month in Porter Square. The woman told police that she was walking on Beacon Street when a man grabbed her by the arm and dragged her into an alley. Our Lauren Lemanchek is live in Somerville tonight with the latest on the search for this man. Lauren.
And Bobby, this does have people on edge. The student was walking right here down Beacon Street, as you said, when she was pulled into this alley and attacked. And here's the really scary part. This is the second time a woman has been attacked leaving the Porter Square T-stop in a week. At the Porter Square station, concern about 2 nearby attacks on women.
I don't feel safe with that at all. Like, it needs to be done, obviously.
The most recent, early Monday morning. This is a sketch of a man police say followed a woman from Porter Square down Beacon Street in Somerville. She says he grabbed her from behind and pushed her into an alley. She screamed and fought off the suspect. On April 16th, a similar attack in Cambridge. Again, the suspect followed the victim from this T-stop.
I was just shocked, surprised. You know, it's so congested around here.
An alert has gone out in Somerville, Cambridge, and on Harvard's campus, warning women to be careful.
I wish they had released more information to help people find out who did this and stop them, rather than just saying, well, let's just encourage women to be more safe.
But until then, some will take extra steps to protect themselves.
I've started walking very fast and always looking over my shoulder, even though I believe in this community and I think that there are really wonderful people around me. It just makes you think twice.
Now, this sketch is being distributed to women all over the area. Police say that's the man responsible for the attack in this alley in Somerville. They do not know yet if the 2 assaults are linked. Live in Somerville, Lauren Lemanchek, WBZ News. Paul and Bobby, back to you.
All right, Lauren, thank you. Storms, as you know, moved through today, bringing downpours and also some lightning.
Yeah, but that's not all. Parts of the Cape saw hail. Take a look at this. Gabriella Melchiori sent these pictures from East Falmouth. The 10th grader says the hail started to fall at about noontime. She described it as looking like fertilizer falling from the sky. The teen also reports thunder in the area at that time. Chief Meteorologist Eric Fisher is with us tonight. Not every day we hear of a fertilizer and thunderstorm.
In a way it is, right? These April showers lead to some flowers later on down the road. We need some of this rainfall, and now just starting to leave. So spinning its way off toward the east. The heaviest rainfall mainly focused on Cape Cod now. Things drying out in the Boston area. From P-Town down to Chatham, seeing some heavier downpours. This is where the meat and potatoes of the rain has come down today. The highest total certainly far southeastern Mass. That moves out in the next couple of hours. The story now, the wind now gusting over 30 miles per hour and 38 mile per hour gusts there in Nashua. That wind is with us through this evening, through tonight, through tomorrow, and through tomorrow night. For the Sox and Yanks here at Fenway Park, you see the camera moving around a little bit there. It'll be chilly in the stands. Temperatures will fall back in the 30s tonight. The skies will begin to clear out in those wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour, if not 40 at times. We'll track the wind, tell you how strong that's going to get coming up a little bit. Paul?
Eric, thanks so much. And the storm has left behind some damage in Lexington, where lightning sparked a fire and knocked a maintenance worker at a golf course right off his feet, as Jim Smith shows us the aftermath.
A charred hole in the roof. Graphic evidence of a terrifying morning in Lexington as lightning strikes a home on Tufts Road. 13-year-old Alan Ginn was in a room right below the attic when the bolt hit.
The first thing I heard was just a loud bang, and then the house shook.
The lightning struck right before 9 a.m., igniting a 2-alarm fire which spread to 2 rooms in the second floor. Luckily, Alan and his parents were able to scramble to safety and were not hurt.
When we opened the attic door, there was just fire everywhere, and then my mom, she yelled there was fire, and so we all just got out.
There was more trouble at Lexington Golf Club. A maintenance worker was taken to the hospital after he too was a victim of lightning. He was working on some electrical circuits when he felt a surge. The worker was reportedly standing close to a cooler when he suddenly felt an electric shock. Another worker inside the club tells me he'll be okay. The storm also rattled nerves at nearby Pine Meadows Golf Course. They ordered all golfers there off the course.
We heard the clap of thunder and then the lightning right after that. We saw a flash. It looked like it was coming from up on top of the hill.
And back at the fire scene, the family felt fortunate to be alive to tell the tale. The fire chief says it was a morning they won't soon forget. Early spring lightning.
A wild morning. Oh, exactly. Yeah. And it was unanticipated. We knew storms were coming through. But hadn't started to rain yet. There wasn't that pre-thunder coming. It just one clap, and that was it.
In Lexington, Jim Smith, WBZ News.
Emergency crews say people who were close to the lightning could have been seriously hurt, but fortunately they were not. The golf course worker, by the way, who felt that shock, has already been released from the hospital.
This evening, a woman is accused of attacking her boyfriend with an axe. Police rushed to the couple's Lunenburg home at 140 South Row Road around 1 this morning. When they arrived, they say they found the man badly hurt. He's now hospitalized in critical condition. 47-year-old Rhonda Ravenous is facing several charges, including attempted murder and resisting arrest. Tonight, Boston police are investigating a body found in the harbor. Officers pulled the body out of the water this afternoon near Long Wharf. No word if it was a man or a woman or how that person died. A Leicester woman charged in connection with a deadly hit-and-run faced a judge today. She told her attorney she thought someone had thrown something at her car and didn't realize she hit an elderly man until she saw the story on the news. Our Kim McLeod was in the courtroom.
As Elizabeth Marcarell pled not guilty this morning, friends of the elderly man she's accused of mowing down weren't buying her story.
She had to know. You got to book the windshield. The guy's leaning across the windshield. You know something happened.
The 24-year-old office manager says a distressed friend summoned her to Worcester in the wee hours of April 12th. She was driving in on Main Street when she encountered trouble in front of this McDonald's.
I believe it was raining pretty heavily. Something struck her windshield, cracked the windshield. She didn't know what it was. She thought somebody maybe threw something at the car.
The suspect says she would have pulled over to check out the damage to her minivan and the circumstances, but didn't because this is Worcester's Main South neighborhood with a nasty reputation for street crime. Police now say she had hit and killed 83-year-old Albert Cicilla, a resident at this nearby rest home known for his wanderings at all hours.
We used to call him two-step. He walked really slow all the time. We buy him coffees because when I first met the man, he was going through dumpsters, taking coffee out of dumpsters over here, junk containers, and drinking them.
Marcarell drove on with her shattered windshield, and when she didn't find her friend at their appointed meeting spot, this 7-Eleven, her attorney says she actually spoke to a pair of cops, not mentioning her accident, and then drove back home to Leicester. The minivan was already fixed several days later when a family friend called about the unsolved fatal hit and run.
She wanted to turn herself into the police. I says, well, geez, we don't know if they have any evidence against you. She says it's the right thing to do. I might have been involved, but there was damage to my car.
Marcarell surrendered yesterday and was charged today with motor vehicle homicide and leaving the scene, even as the rest home planned a memorial service for the victim.
Albert was a nice guy. Everybody liked him. He was quiet.
Despite the suspect's story, police say they've got evidence that she swerved and braked before impact, meaning she saw what she was about to hit. In Worcester, Ken McLeod, WBZ News.
Marcarell, who has no prior criminal record, is free on $2,500 bond. Her driver's license has been suspended.
A Connecticut man is charged tonight in the hoax call that sparked chaos on the Yale University campus. Investigators say on November 25th, 50-year-old Jeffrey Jones called 911 saying that his roommate was armed and on the way to campus. Well, that call prompted a 6-hour campus lockdown. Jones is now facing several charges, including reckless endangerment and breach of peace. Investigators trying to solve the mystery of a missing Malaysian airliner say their first lead in weeks wasn't the clue as they'd hoped for. As Alfonso Van Marsh reports, a piece of debris that washed up on an Australian beach does not appear to be from the missing jet.
Authorities searching for a missing Malaysian Airlines plane say debris found on a beach is not likely related to the jetliner that disappeared last month. Australian police recovered the material 6 miles outside of Augusta in southwestern Australia. But investigators say after looking at the photos of the debris, it doesn't appear to be wreckage from Flight 370. The jetliner disappeared on March 8th with 239 people on board. Australia's Prime Minister is promising families crews will not give up.
Australia will not rest until we have done everything we humanly can to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Earlier this month, investigators picked up underwater signals they thought were from the plane's data recorders. But underwater robots and search crews have found no sign of the plane. So far, a U.S. Navy underwater drone has covered 80% of the ocean floor where investigators believe the plane may have gone down. Authorities say it will take another 2 weeks to search the targeted area. Alfonso Van Marsh, CBS News.
Officials will soon bring in more powerful sonar equipment to use in deeper parts of the Indian Ocean.
Controversial Boston University women's basketball coach Kelly Greenberg has resigned. Greenberg coached the Lady Terriers for the past decade. This year, at least 4 players quit the team, claiming Greenberg emotionally abused them. The coach denied the allegations, and several other players supported her publicly. Today, Greenberg released a statement saying, quote, "I have determined that it is in the best interest of the university, the women's basketball program, and myself for me to resign my position as head women's basketball coach. I do not agree with some of the findings of the review panel regarding my coaching style, which was intended to produce well-rounded athletes and a winning team. However, given all that has transpired, I do not believe it will be possible for me to continue as an effective coach at Boston University."
A special honor tonight for Boston Marathon men's champion Med Keflezighi. He'll be throwing out the ceremonial first pitch at Fenway Park. On Monday, Med became the first American to win the men's title since 1983. He finished the 26.2-mile course in 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 37 seconds. The second game of a 3-game series between the Yankees and the Red Sox starts at 7:10.
That'll be a fun night tonight. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in Boston this evening. Is she giving any hints on her political future?
A fishtail with the pictures to prove it, where this giant hammerhead shark was captured, and what happened moments after a fisherman dragged it to shore.
But first, why did the IRS pay big bonuses to employees who didn't pay their own taxes? The agency's explanation next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Luna.
Buy 2 rooms of flooring with installation and get product for the rest of your home for $99.
877-241 Luna.
Is it a good time to buy a Honda Accord?
We don't call it the Spring Into a Honda Sales event for nothing.
What makes this Accord so special?
Rear-view camera, Bluetooth, Pandora compatibility, all standard.
I'm not convinced.
It's an IIHS 2014 top safety fit.
There's a bear behind you.
Way to stay on your toes, Robert.
This is not a drill. Get a great deal during the Spring Into a Honda sales event. Now, at your Honda dealer.
Diamonds, the jewelry exchange, has half-carat solitaires for $4.99, 1-carat $9.90, and 1-carat certified solitaires $19.90. We have most sizes and grades of GIA diamonds and a low price guarantee. We set while you watch. Buy direct, the jewelry exchange in Sudbury.
It's made with wholesome ingredients. It tastes great, and it's competitively priced. That's H&K approved. Hearth & Kettle's 3-part approval process ensures that every meal coming out of our kitchens meets high standards for quality, taste, and value. Many of our ingredients are organic or all natural and free of hormones, antibiotics, and artificial preservatives. Wholesome ingredients, great taste, competitively priced. That's H&K approved. Hearth & Kettle in Hyannis, Yarmouth, Orleans, Plymouth, and Weymouth.
While New England weather is always changing, there's one thing you can count on. The WBZ Mobile AccuWeather Lab, bringing you to the middle of the storm and tracking weather right in your neighborhood. The WBZ Mobile AccuWeather Lab, powered by your New England Chevy dealers.
It's a real estate jungle out there. That's why we've let a lion loose in your neighborhood. But there's no need to run. This lion is on your side every step of the way. Lear Realty Partners. We're one of the largest real estate firms in New England, with over 300 experienced agents, a 15-year track record, and the latest tools, roaring into the market with a brand new name, Lear Realty Partners. The roar that opens more doors.
Toyota is #1 in value, but it gets better because we give you all-new stylish Toyotas. Better yet, we give you great deals with the Toyota Gifts of Spring Savings Event. Receive our lowest $178 a month lease on an all-wheel drive RAV4 with no cost maintenance included. Or get 0 for 60 plus $500 bonus cash on Sienna, including all-wheel drive models. Hurry, Gifts of Spring will be wrapped up soon. Toyota, let's go places.
WBZ News is sponsored by Sleepy's, the mattress professionals.
Thousands of IRS employees given bonuses despite facing disciplinary action.
The agency spent $1 million rewarding workers accused of everything from failure to pay their own taxes to the misuse of expense accounts. Craig Boswell has the details.
Internal IRS investigators report 2,800 employees disciplined for misconduct received bonuses worth more than $2.8 million. The conduct issues ranged from late payment and even non-payment of taxes to misuse of government-issued travel cards and even fraud. The report points out the IRS does not consider tax compliance or other misconduct when issuing performance awards.
The IRS union contract actually prohibits the agency from taking disciplinary action into account when awarding bonuses. That's something lawmakers want changed.
Congress needs to say that bonuses are not an entitlement and that, in fact, they must not be paid for a period of time after reprimands or other wrongdoing.
Republican Darrell Issa, who led the House investigation into the IRS Tea Party scandal, says this is the latest example of problems within the tax agency.
The IRS has more than a smidgen of wrongdoing, and they need to make more than a smidgen of change.
The IRS says it's developed a policy for senior-level employees linking conduct to bonuses and will consider a similar policy for the entire agency. The National Treasury Employees Union, which covers IRS workers, says it will review any proposed changes to the union contract. Craig Boswell for CBS News, Washington.
IRS statistics show that 1.1% of its workers had tax compliance issues. Nationwide, more than 8% of Americans fail to pay all of their taxes. A dead computer prompted 2 NASA astronauts to make a critical spacewalk today. The men who were working on the International Space Station had to replace a backup computer located on the outside of the ISS. The computer failed nearly 2 weeks ago. NASA doesn't know why this happened. They installed the replacement computer without any problems.
Well, tonight, a Vatican official has announced former Pope Benedict XVI will attend Sunday's double canonization for Popes John Paul II and Pope John the 23rd. Pope Francis, of course, will be presiding over the ceremony. And this is historic. 2 popes have never been canonized together in the same ceremony, and now 2 living popes will be involved as well. And WBZ will have live coverage of the canonization of the popes. I'm traveling to Rome tomorrow, and we'll have live reports for you from the Vatican beginning Friday on WBZ News at 5 o'clock. And coming up tomorrow, the man behind this picture, that's me. I had the opportunity to meet Pope John Paul II as a teenager on a Catholic youth trip to Rome, and a Polish priest from the Worcester Diocese arranged this audience. You'll hear from him and how he feels about his friend, the beloved Polish Pope, becoming a saint. That's tomorrow at 5.
Look at that smart scarf. You all ready to meet the Pope? All dressed up. Cool.
Not every day you meet someone and later in your life they become a saint.
It's going to be an exciting trip.
It's going to be really, really fascinating, I think, for everybody to watch in Rome on Sunday. So
great.
We've been saying we wish we had sort of a Roman spring around here. We had the warmth, right? All the rain around.
Yeah.
It's lightning today.
Kind of a wild day, but we need some rainfall. You know, it's something that takes some of the pollen out of the air. I know so many folks suffering with allergies, and the hail is probably the thing that caught most people's attention. We were talking about this yesterday. Very cold atmosphere above our heads. Harwich, Cape Cod, the site of a lot of this hail. This picture sent in from Brian. You see the rain kind of washed it down toward the road. And Darlene sent this one in. I want to say those are viburnum? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not great with plants. Todd's the gardening guru around here. Sent in some of those pictures as well. Some of those small pea-sized hailstones coming down along with some of the plant life that's all trying to bud around the region. Heaviest rain showers now across the Outer Cape in particular, from Provincetown down through Truro and Peastown, Orleans picking up the rain. Farther to the west, we're starting to dry out. So we'll be looking at the clouds starting to break up overnight gradually. Certainly dry weather, and you might get a really good sunset out of it tonight as well. So we're starting to see some of those breaks. So heading toward about 8 o'clock, these showers will just be leaving Cape Cod, and then we're all into the clear as we get through overnight. The wind will be gusty, though, and tomorrow morning it is sunshine to kick off our Thursday. Now, the winds are probably the biggest issue. Gusting over 30 miles per hour now. It's going to stay with us through tonight out of the northwest. through tomorrow morning when you wake up. It'll be here for lunchtime. It'll be here through the afternoon. And some of the gusts tomorrow could be up around 50 miles per hour. Even tomorrow night, still cruising out of the northwest. Very tight pressure gradient, the reason for that. And by Friday morning, finally, we start to see those winds relax. Now tonight, the temperatures will stay mainly above freezing because of that wind, but there will be some 30s, and combined with the gusts, it's going to feel awfully chilly outdoors for heading out and about. Tomorrow, it's going to be another cool day in the 50s, but seasonably cool, up around 57 in Boston, 52 in Worcester, Keene at 51 for a daytime high. No 60s around the area, unfortunately. So sunrise, 5:49 tomorrow. Now wind is going to be blowing as you make your way off toward work. Continuing as we head into the midday, some strong gusts with a mix of sun and clouds. Again, some of those gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Now the question, some trees could be coming down tomorrow. The wind continues in the evening. Sunset at 7:36. Temperatures in the 50s as you head on home. For the Sox tonight, the rain gone, so they will be able to get that game in. Feeling very chilly in the stands at Fenway Park. And then for tomorrow night, we'll still have the wind. It's not going to be quite as gusty, but still windy enough, and both nights blowing out toward right field. That's where all the action is going to be. Now, as we head into Friday, high pressure overhead. This is our break. We've got calm winds, lots of sunshine. Should be a great end to the week. Milder temps. Batch of rain showers moves in on Friday night. And it looks like we're off to a pretty wet start to the weekend, unfortunately. So here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Showers Friday night into Saturday. Saturday, in fact, looks quite a bit like what we saw today. Then we head towards Sunday. I think still mostly cloudy. There could be a lingering shower or two, still in the 50s. And then next week, not a lot of warmth here for the final days of April. In fact, coming up next half hour, we're going to talk about a pretty big pattern change, and this one is going to be rather stubborn. It's coming up in about 25 minutes. Bobby?
We don't like stubborn. Eric, thank you. A hiker who fell 30 feet from a granite wall is telling a story this evening. 26-year-old Blake Parkinson and his climbing partner were in Yosemite tackling a difficult stretch when Parkinson fell. Rescue crews flew to the scene but had a tough time reaching the man. The vertical rock created a big challenge for the helicopter's blades. Parkinson says he is thankful he survived.
I hit my back on a boulder that was protruding off of this ledge. It had been a climb that I had wanted to do for quite a while, so I'll have to wait to finish it up another time, I guess.
Wow, he's going to go back there. Tonight, the experienced climber is being treated for stress fractures to his spine. Doctors say he should make a full recovery.
It's shoppers to the rescue when a hot air balloon had an unexpected and dramatic landing. Wind gusts brought down this balloon next to a California shopping center, narrowly missing a highway. People in the area sprang into action, grabbing ropes to direct the balloon away from a street lamp, and thankfully no one was hurt.
I'll just stay on the ground.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good right here.
Well, tonight, a new honor for Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o.
Guess what the Yale drama graduate student has to say about being named one of People magazine's most beautiful.
But first, a dangerous side effect of marijuana use. Dr. Mallika Marshall on the link between pot and heart problems. And now here's a look at what's ahead at 6.
New at 6, a priest headed to prison.
The best part of the day was to see those handcuffs go on his wrists.
The tens of thousands he stole from a dead priest, the diocese, and a hospital. What did he do with all of that money? And the parishioners who feel betrayed.
The world's eyes turned to Boston. This was our moment, and together, we finished the race.
This is a marathon unlike anything we have ever seen.
WBZ-TV congratulates all the runners for a Patriots Day like no other.
It's just a great energy out here.
This year and every year, we are proud to be the only local station to bring you every moment of the race. WBZ Channel 4, your official home of the Boston Marathon.
I like this Honda CR-V. We've got great deals during the Spring Into a Honda sales event.
Slow down, hotshot.
The CR-V has a rear-view camera, Bluetooth, Pandora compatibility, all standard.
Is that it?
And the CR-V is the most durable in its class.
Are those McPherson struts?
Indeed.
Nice work, Smith.
This is not a drill. Get a great deal during the Spring Into a Honda sales event. Now at your Honda dealer.
Today we're showing Real People Xfinity Internet. I bet we can have all three of these guys on their devices and download our favorite HD show. You're going to be impressed. Xfinity delivers the fastest in-home Wi-Fi. So, flipping fast. How does this compare to your provider?
Not as good as this.
We're done.
Xfinity delivers the speed to power all your devices with the fastest in-home Wi-Fi. Fios says nothing like this. And now, Blast customers get double the internet speed for no additional cost. Not a Blast customer? Upgrade today. Call 1-800-XFINITY.
It's a fast-paced world. I love it. Everything at your fingertips. You save time and money. I love to shop around. But insurance? You may think you're getting more, but actually, you could be settling for less. That's why I went to TrustedChoice.com. I found the perfect local Massachusetts independent insurance agent who saved me a bundle on my bundle. A protection plan to meet my needs at the best possible price.
Representing Monterey Commerce Insurance.
Finally, somebody who loves to shop around as much as I do.
Let's do it.
Which of you has the more powerful engine? Okay. I also want heated and cooled front seats. It has to be standard. Do you have that?
It's clear, right?
Definitely.
When you're looking for a luxury SUV, make sure you ask the right questions. Visit your Lincoln showroom today to lease the powerful 2014 Lincoln MKX for $389 a month.
Tonight, more evidence that marijuana may not be as harmless as some people may think.
And Governor Patrick not giving up plans to restrict the use of a powerful new painkiller. Dr. Mallika Marshall is here with details on these stories. Hi, Mallika.
Hi, good to see you guys. Well, a federal judge overturned the state's plan to ban the drug Zohydro. So now Governor Patrick is taking new steps to limit the use. Doctors will now have to complete a risk assessment and pain management agreement before they prescribe the new drug. They will also have to use the state's online prescription monitoring program to help prevent potential abuse. Now, last week we reported that even though casual use of marijuana can cause real changes in the brain, and now a new study is raising concerns that marijuana can lead to heart problems. Young and middle-aged adults who use marijuana could be putting themselves at risk for heart-related complications, even death. That's according to a new study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association. French researchers looked at about 2,000 health complications involving marijuana. 35 were cardiovascular related, including 20 heart attacks and 9 deaths.
We used to think that marijuana was a very safe drug, but as more and more marijuana is being used, there's been more identified cases of cardiovascular complications. It can increase heart rate, and this can increase the demand of oxygen by the heart.
Cardiologist Dr. Robert Kluner believes the number of cardiovascular complications from marijuana is even higher.
There is probably an underreporting that's occurring. So not everyone who has a cardiac event and has used marijuana is going to report that.
26-year-old Dave Weaver smokes marijuana regularly and says the new findings won't keep him from lighting up.
It's like drinking a beer at the end of the day. It just helps you calm down, relax, and, I don't know, take the stress off.
As more states legalize marijuana for recreational and medical use, some experts are calling for a national system to track health complications related to marijuana. Okay, so this is not the first study to link marijuana and heart attack risk. In fact, researchers at the BI Deaconess here in Boston also found a connection in a prior study. But I think one thing for sure, we need to look more closely at both the potential benefits of marijuana and the potential harms, because I think we just don't know enough about this drug yet.
You've been saying they just haven't done enough studies
That's right.
time, right?
That's right. So there could be benefits and risks, but we just need to know more.
Especially as there's more talk about legalization around the country.
That's right.
All right, thank you so much. And send your story ideas to Dr. Mallika. You can email her at drmallika@cbs.com or tweet her at Mallika Marshall.
Well, new insight tonight into exactly how a teenager was able to stow away on a flight to Hawaii.
Ahead here at 5, how his trip could lead to changes in airport security.
Injured MBTA officer Dick Donahue shows his support to students at Boston College. What he says we must keep doing even after the marathon anniversary.
Hillary Clinton comes to Boston amid rampant speculation about a run for president. How she's not the only woman looking to break the political glass ceiling.
Tomorrow on WBZ News in the Morning, a new way to maximize your reward points.
How to get that dream vacation without the hassle. And our next chance for rain, will it wash out your weekend?
Traffic and weather together and your daily talker starting at 4:30.
Today's weather on WBZ is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers.
The all-new Chevy Silverado, from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. The truck that beats any Ford F-150 in fuel economy, and the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. And now, during Chevy Truck Month, the price you see is the price you pay for a 2014 Chevy Silverado. Now, current non-GM listings can lease this all-new 2014 Silverado for just $269 a month.
Visit your New England Chevy dealer.
Really? Okay. All right. Use the ready-to-go spreader and save time. Just turn it on and go. It makes lawn care easy.
Tonight's primetime lineup is brought to you by the all-new 2014 Jeep Cherokee. Hurry to your local dealer now during the Jeep Award season for great deals on the entire Jeep lineup.
Looks can be deceiving. It's certainly true with furniture. Two items may appear to be the same, but are they? At Boston Interiors, all of the upholstered furniture is made in America. Each piece is crafted with high-grade American hardwood, reinforced block corners, and eco-friendly materials. So when you shop at Boston Interiors, you buy furniture that's great-looking and long-lasting.
Visit Boston Interiors today and save during our spring home sale. The smarter you are about furniture, the more you'll love Boston Interiors.
So again, throwing in the $1,000 fuel reward card is really what makes it like 2 deals in one.
Actually, getting a great car with 42 highway miles per gallon makes it like 2 deals in one.
Point is, there's never been a better time to buy a Jetta TDI clean diesel.
During the first ever Volkswagen TDI Clean Diesel event, get a great deal on a Jetta TDI. It gets 42 highway miles per gallon and get a $1,000 fuel reward card. It's like 2 deals in one. Volkswagen has the most TDI Clean Diesel models of any brand. Hurry in and get a $1,000 fuel reward card and 0.9% APR for 60 months on TDI models.
Former Police Commissioner Ed Davis joins the WBZ News team as our exclusive security analyst. Insight only Ed can offer, only on WBZ News.
Our top stories at 5:30. Somerville police say a man who looks like this attacked a Harvard student on Beacon Street. Investigators say the woman was walking early Monday morning when the man pulled her into an alley. She did manage to get away. Police are trying to figure out if this attack is linked to a similar incident in Porter Square.
That's a pretty interesting weather on the map this afternoon. We had lightning and, yes, even hail. Take a look at some video from Lisa at a Harwich reporting some of these hailstones coming down on the back deck, coating things up. Almost looks a little bit like winter. These storms are starting to work their way out to the east. The big story now, the wind. And we will track that wind in the forecast coming up in a few moments. Thank you, Eric. Also, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in town tonight. But is she talking about what's next in her political life? The former First Lady delivered the keynote address at the 35th Annual Simmons Leadership Conference this afternoon.
This conference is the longest-running women's leadership forum in the country, and our John Keller is live in Boston tonight. John?
Hi, Paula. Hi, Bobby. Yeah, everywhere Hillary Clinton goes these days, it's the same guessing game. Will she or won't she run for president in 2016? Well, I can tell you that after today's appearance here down in the Seaport area, the suspense continues. But former Secretary Clinton did deliver some inspirational remarks about women in politics that may well reverberate in the governor's race right here at home. She failed to make history 6 years ago, losing to Barack Obama in a race that still rankles many of her supporters.
Hello, everybody.
And now one of those loyalists, Attorney General Martha Coakley, is also out to shatter a glass ceiling. The one that's kept the governor's office here a men-only club.
I got a call from one individual who said, I'm voting for you because I want my 13-year-old daughter to see that women can run for governor, that they can go to law school, that they can have full careers.
It was such a bold idea that 3 people, or at least 3 white men.
Secretary Clinton continues to be coy about her presidential ambitions, but Coakley has no such constraints.
I hope she will run. That is her call. Obviously, no one knows better than she how hard that is to run. But if she does, you can know that she will have learned from the last race and that she needs to win this time around.
It's already recycling about 2. My goodness, I didn't know solid waste management was so controversial.
No shoes were thrown at Mrs. Clinton today, and no wonder. To those who chafe at the lingering barriers to women in politics, her looming run is a chance to tear them down once and for all.
More women do serve in public office. They're able to contribute to their economies. But it's a glass that is half full at best. Because in too many places, too many women still face ceilings that pulled them back.
Well, as I said, no end to the suspense about Hillary Clinton's future here today. She won't be making a definitive call on that for some time. But she did drop some supersized hints, including an anecdote about how she always used to tell young women, you have to dare to compete. And in the period when she was trying to decide whether to run for the U.S. Senate in 2000, a young woman introduced her at a function, leaned down and whispered in her ear, Mrs. Clinton, dare to compete. That cracked up the crowd and prompted a burst of applause. I think that's what you call a major league hint about what she has in mind for a few years down the road. Live in the Seaport in Boston, John Keller at large, WBZ News. Bobby, back to you.
All right, John, thank you. Suffolk Downs is starting the 2014 season with some doubt about the future. Executives say this could be the last year for the thoroughbred track unless Mohegan Sun is allowed to build a $1.3 billion casino on the revered portion of its land. Wynn Resorts has a competing plan for a casino in Everett. Racing begins at Suffolk Downs on May 3rd.
Wounded transit police officer Dick Donahue helped kick off a big blood drive at Boston College today. The students organized this 4-day blood drive, marking the 1-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombings. Officer Donahue needed 46 units of blood after being hit in the leg during a shootout with the bombing suspects in Watertown.
Every day is important to come out and get blood, and you know, now that we're past the marathon, past the anniversary, it's just, you know, it's still very important. It's important that people remember, you know, that event and remember the need for blood every day.
He's made this his mission. The Red Cross has collected 130 units so far, and you can still donate at Conti Forum on the campus at BC. They're open from 11 to 5 tomorrow and Friday.
Today, the state 911 department honored 911 dispatchers. They gave special recognition to communications officers involved in last year's marathon bombings. Some of the tapes from these dispatchers will be used to train other officers. Dispatchers often save lives. They're usually the first contact people have in an emergency situation.
A teenage boy who stowed away on a flight to Hawaii in the wheel well of a passenger jet is in the hospital this evening.
It's amazing he's alive after this. Investigators say they may now know how and why the boy set out on this dangerous journey. Marley Hall has the details.
A law enforcement official tells the Associated Press investigators are reviewing surveillance video that shows the 15-year-old was inside a secure area of the San Jose airport for about 7 hours. According to the FBI, the teenager snuck onto the tarmac, chose a plane at random, and had no idea where he was flying. He took a 5.5-hour flight to Maui in the wheel well of a Boeing 767. The teen's incredible stunt has highlighted what some lawmakers call gaping holes in airline and airport security.
Looking at our airports in general and taking a diagnostic, I think would serve all of us well to make sure that only ticketed, screened passengers are getting on planes.
The teen, who lives with his father in California, told investigators he was trying to get to his mother, who lives in Somalia. Students at the 15-year-old Santa Clara school say he may have gone too far.
Like a normal teenager, if you want to run away, you would run away to like your best friend's house or like something. It's Hawaii.
Aviation experts say the teen is lucky to be alive.
There's almost no oxygen at 30,000, 38,000 feet. Freezing cold temperatures, 50 degrees below zero. It's a miracle.
Marley Hall, CBS News.
The Federal Aviation Administration says 105 people have stowed away in wheel wells since 1947. Of that, only 25 survived. Authorities are not planning on pursuing criminal charges against this teenager.
Coming up, you may soon have to pay more for that morning cup of coffee. What's prompting wholesale prices to skyrocket?
And investigators raid a home in connection with a deadly ferry accident in South Korea. Details on that, plus the incredible challenge facing search crews tonight.
The Toyota Gifts of Spring Savings Event. Receive the lowest ever lease on a well-equipped Corolla Sport for only $117 a month with no cost maintenance included. The Gifts of Spring will soon be wrapped up. Toyota, let's go places.
Report a claim. Pay your bill. Safety's mobile app is just one more way we help you manage life's storms. For auto, home, and business, ask your independent agent about safety insurance.
I was impressed with how many great reviews they had.
What makes Servpro different is that our people really care about making our customers happy.
They ask what they they could do to make painting an extraordinary experience for us. And they kept the gate latched.
We work from a personalized written certainty pledge.
CertaPro painters did a wonderful job. They respected our lifestyle and our home.
It's about 5-star craftsmanship and having truly satisfied customers. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. CertaPro Painters, because painting is personal.
Don't miss the Bach Toyota Gifts at Spring Savings event. Bach Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealer in sales in New England. Drive home a brand new Toyota Corolla for only $79 per month. Come on down. That's right, lease a brand new Toyota Corolla with automatic transmission that gets an amazing 38 miles per gallon for just $79 per month.
Belltone, a global leader in hearing care, is conducting a new trial on innovative hearing aid technology. If you qualify to participate, you will be asked to evaluate a remarkable new product from Belltone. This small device delivers power and clarity. It is virtually invisible and comfortable. Call 1-800-BELLTONE now and hear sounds, words, and conversation more clearly from your phone, TV, or iPhone. Call 1-800-BELLTONE today.
Hello and welcome to the beautiful appliance showrooms of Barron's Major Brand. It's the GE Super Savings event. Right now, get up to a $500 rebate when you buy a GE Profile kitchen package, or get up to a $500 rebate when you choose a GE Cafe kitchen package. That's up to $500 right now from GE. Shop in tax-free New Hampshire and still get free delivery and 0% financing too. And remember, when it comes to appliances, nobody ever beats a Barron's Major Brands price.
Is it a good time to buy a Honda Accord?
We don't call it into a Honda sales event for nothing.
What makes this Accord so special?
Rear-view camera, Bluetooth, Pandora compatibility, all standard.
I'm not convinced.
It's an IIHS 2014 top safety fit.
There's a bear behind you.
Way to stay on your toes, Robert.
This is not a drill. Get a great deal during the Spring Into a Honda sales event. Now, at your Honda dealer.
HealthWatch is brought to you by Newton Wellesley Hospital.
Investigators just raided the home of a man who owns the company that operated a sunken ferry in South Korea.
At least 150 people were killed when that ferry capsized last week. More than 100 others are still missing. As Tina Krause shows us, reaching the victims is proving to be a difficult task.
Investigators have released new underwater video that shows what divers are dealing with as they try to recover the victims of South Korean ferry disaster. They're using hammers to try to break the windows of the sunken vessel to get to the bodies. Many of the passengers were high school students on their way to a holiday island. Reports say many victims had broken fingers, presumably from trying to claw their way out as the ship filled with water. 11 crew members are in custody, including the ship's captain. One crew member told her former teacher there was a problem with the ferry's steering gear shortly before it capsized. Investigators have also revealed the crew did not make the first distress call. Instead, it came from a young passenger who called for help 3 minutes before the ship alerted a control center there was a problem. Most of the victims are from a high school near Seoul. A temporary memorial has been set up as a tribute to the students. There are so many funerals being held in the town, some families have had to turn to funeral homes in other cities. Tina Krause, CBS News.
Well, it was more than just a shark sighting. When we return, meet the fisherman who hooked this hammerhead. What he did after a quick photo shoot.
Ooh, hopefully run away. All right, let's talk about the weather situation. We've got the rain moving out. We've got the wind moving in. We'll talk about how strong these gusts will be coming up.
Eric, thank you. And as we head to break here, a quick look at what's hot tonight on our website, cbsboston.com.
You may have donated, thinking you were helping local veterans. But some say
they're a scam. They don't run any programs for veterans.
And the I-teams aren't. The states even ordered them to stop asking for cash.
You're taking advantage of people that you don't take advantage of.
So who's behind this charity? And where's your money going?
There's no room for it. There's too many people that are doing good work.
Before you give another dime, the I-team gets answers. Thursday on WBZ News at 11. The Toyota Gift Gifts of Spring savings event. Receive the lowest lease on an all-wheel drive Venza for just $178 a month with no cost maintenance included. The Gifts of Spring will soon be wrapped up. Toyota, let's go places.
Remember when you may have gotten your first fluoride treatment? When you received dental sealants? When you first wore a mouth guard when playing sports? When you were reminded that flossing was just as important as brushing and regular dental checkups? Since 1864, the Massachusetts Dental Society has been there to protect your good oral health. And we're still protecting it 150 years later. When you trust your mouth to an MDS member, remember, you're always in good hands.
Take the Ford EcoBoost Challenge and you'll choose Escape with the power and mileage of EcoBoost. And now it feels so good to lease a four-wheel drive Escape for $149 a month for competitive owners. Or get an EcoBoost powered Fusion with up to an EPA estimated 37 miles per gallon highway. Lease Fusion for $129 a month for competitive owners. Or buy with up to $27.40 total savings during the Ford EcoBoost Challenge.
Hi, I'm Roberto Nicoli. People always ask me, what is the Nicolot difference? When it comes to product, homeowners want the best.
It lasts. It looks like the day it was laid down.
This is Nicolot. This is a competitive brand. See the difference in the intensity of the color.
And the color went all the way through.
We apply a protective surface and eliminate all the pitfalls that other brands may have. That will not happen with a pay-per-view product. They can be confident it's the best product they can possibly buy. See the Nicolot difference.
For more information, visit nicolock.com/TV2.
New Englanders have a rich history. We drive by historic locations and iconic landmarks every day, and we're proud to call it our home. Defined not only by the people and the places, but also by the very cars we drive. So how close are you from getting a great deal and outstanding service on a Subaru? At Metro West Subaru, you're only minutes away from our everyday low prices.
I'm Michael Petrick, General Manager of Metro West Subaru. Come on over and experience it for yourself.
Real people, steel people. They just won't compromise. Steel trimmers start at just $129.95. Visit steeldealers.com.
CBS Money Watch Stock Update is brought to you by the Massachusetts State University System.
So a day at the beach turned into one people near Fort Lauderdale will never forget.
Yeah, good reason for this. A fisherman snagged a giant hammerhead shark and then pulled it onto the shore. As Alex DePrado shows us, the big fish hung out long enough to pose for cameras.
It's a hammerhead, and it's big, 13 feet, and pulling it onto the beach is 21-year-old Ryan Polash.
A lot of adrenaline running through your body. It's not easy.
A friend hooked the monster shark at the pier at Commercial Boulevard and A1A in Lauderdale by the Sea Monday afternoon and guided the shark toward shore. Ryan then grabbed a hold of the thrashing hammerhead and brought it onto the sand for a few photos. But the main reason in bringing the shark onto shore is to cut the heavy line as close to its mouth as possible.
In order to release the fish on the pier, he would end up having to cut the line, and there'd be about 15 foot of line tangling, hanging down from the fish, which could get caught on a reef or, could end up killing the fish in the long run.
Out-of-town beachgoers were stunned.
It was sailing around and everything like that, and then he cut the line, and everybody was taking pictures, so it was really cool.
Oh, it's a very big experience for us. For sure we're going to tell to everybody in Montreal that we saw this.
Ryan, along with a couple others, quickly dragged the hammerhead back into the water, then watched it swim away.
It's an achievement, it's cool to catch something that big and, to have a picture and show everyone and be like, look what I caught. It's the ultimate catch.
Ryan was left with scratches he calls shark burn from rubbing up against the hammerhead's rough skin, and also pictures to prove this is no fishtail.
It's an amazing fish, and when they're that big, they're so old, and they're an amazing creature. I don't know why anyone would want to hurt them.
Oh, I'm glad they were helping him to get back out there in the water.
And with all the tourists, there are now hundreds of photos of that shark.
No, I just feel bad about the runaway joke earlier on the break. Clearly doing a lot better work than running away.
You didn't know the whole story there.
No.
Well, I'll tell you what, along our beaches, the spottings today, they were spotting some hail falling, right?
Yeah, down at the Cape.
Great white hail out there today. Not great white sharks and hyenas. Chris sent this picture in. You've got the daffodils mixed in with some ice on the ground here. And 5 minutes of hail in hyenas. Pretty unbelievable stuff out there on the Cape today. Some heavy rainfall, certainly the highest totals up to about an inch on Cape Cod of rainfall. You see that rain still spinning, mid and outer Cape in particular. That will continue for a couple more hours before all that slides out to the east. Farther westbound, we're drying out. There are a couple of breaks in the overcast now, so some of us will get a pretty decent sunset out of this. And as we head through the evening, things will continue to clear. Now, Fenway Park, our camera weather bug network is rocking around a little bit. We just had a gust of 38 miles per hour. That wind's out of the northwest. It's blowing toward right field. It'll be a chilly one out there in the stands, combined with the wind, and the temperatures will be falling back through the 40s, but it will be dry at least. We've got that going for us. Just need a winter jacket. Tomorrow, it'll be a little bit brighter. It'll still be chilly. It'll still be windy out there for the end of this particular three-game set. Wind is the main story now. Gusting over 30 miles per hour this evening. The strongest gust tomorrow will be consistent all day long, and some of them up to 50 miles per hour. Some trees could come down tomorrow, and there'll also be lower humidity, so an increased fire risk. Not a day to burn anything outside. Anything could spread very quickly, even with the rainfall that we saw today. Here's a look at the timing of these winds, and really even as the sun goes down tonight, we keep the same kind of gusts all through the overnight hours, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and even into tomorrow night before they finally start to die down, heading through tomorrow night and into Friday morning. So a very consistent pattern of a lot of wind. A pressure gradient that's tight, and it's not going to loosen up all that much. Low temperatures overnight, 35 Worcester, Fitchburg down to 32, 40 in Boston. Of course, with that wind, it'll feel pretty chilly, especially later on and out the door tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's temp, similar to what we saw today, in the 50s, about 57 in Taunton and Boston, 52 in Chatham. These are just a couple degrees cooler than average highs for this time of year. So we have sunrise coming up at 5:49. The wind, it's here early and often. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow. The gusts continue, low 50s at midday lunch. Probably want to hang out inside, be a little uncomfortable outside. And in the evening, mid-50s, sunset at about 7:36, getting a little bit later every day. Now, as we head into Friday, this is one of the better days this week. We're going to have a lot of sunshine. The wind is calming down, high pressures overhead, and temperatures will be a little bit milder. So nice end to the week. Some cirrus clouds move in the evening. Rain showers move in Friday night, overnight. And it looks like this disturbance that moves in on Saturday is going to be pretty similar to what we just saw. So that will set off more showers and maybe some small hailers again around southern New England. And then here's the setup for the weekend and beyond. On Saturday, we've got westerly winds, but notice the wind flow now. On Sunday, it's out of the north, bringing in some cooler air, more the same as we head toward Monday. And then the big idea for next week is that we've got a huge area of high pressure over Canada, big sprawling low here in the middle of the country. Nothing's going to move. The wind is going to be off the water, and it's going to stay that way Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even into Friday. So not a lot of big warmth in the forecast. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day. The mildest is Friday, the brightest as well. Best day to be outside. A couple of showers may linger into Sunday after a pretty damp Saturday. And then next week, I think we start off dry, but it will be staying very cool. Our schoolyard shout out for today, Danielle Niles visited the St. Louis School, Webster, Massachusetts. Big group here, kindergarten all the way through 7th grade, all getting a lesson here. Of course, this is just a couple days ago, as it is vacation week for most districts. And then it's the home stretch after this, getting ready for summer vacation at the end of June.
Getting ready for a lot of that outdoor recess.
We'll be ready for beach time and that warmer weather.
Consistent. We'll get there, I promise. Sometime in May, hopefully.
All right, Eric, thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, if you make your morning cup of coffee at home to try to save money, it's about to get more expensive. Coffee prices are at a 2-year high. Turns out a drought in Brazil is to blame. They grow about 1/3 of the world's coffee. But right now, they're about 11 million bags short. Next month, you'll see the effects at the grocery store.
I think we're likely to see coffee prices move upwards anywhere from 20–25% on mainstream grocery channels.
Now, the big coffee chains like Starbucks buy their beans well in advance, so prices at retailers are actually not expected to go up this year.
Bit of good news there. It's one of the most advanced robots in the world, and it's made right here in Massachusetts at Boston Dynamics. This is Atlas. He was created to complete very easy tasks like hooking up a fire hose. He may look impressive, he does, but scientists say they have a long way to go before they can make him into any type of robo-soldier. Atlas is shaky on his feet, he's tethered by cables, and cannot think for himself.
People magazine's out with its most beautiful edition of the year, and gracing the cover, taking the top spot, the beautiful Lupita Nyong'o. She calls the award a major compliment. The 31-year-old broke into the spotlight earlier this year when she won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for her role in 12 Years a Slave. People magazine's Most Beautiful list hits newsstands on Friday. Good choice. She is magical.
I think everyone agrees on that one.
Beautiful.
Coming up here, a breastfeeding mother fought the TSA and she won.
Straight ahead, the lawsuit that will force airport security to make some big changes. And now here's Jack with a look for us at what's ahead at 6 o'clock. Hi, Jack.
All right, Paul and Bobby, thank you very much. A new warning has just gone out to Harvard University students. New on our 6 o'clock news, a student's frightening encounter with a stranger and the 2 other attacks that have a lot of women very worried. Then, Wednesday's child. I visited the Lego store with little Danny. He's a really sweet kid. I guarantee you, he'll make you smile. How about Red?
Boston's must-see dance event of the season is Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. Don't miss the world's most popular dance company at the City Rain Theater. May 1st through 4th only. For tickets, visit citycenter.org.
Percent financing for up to 36 months. Get a great deal and go love spring.
The real deal is the Passat TDI Clean Diesel gets up to 795 highway miles per tank.
Actually, we're throwing in a $1,000 fuel reward card. We've never done that. That's why there's never been a better time to buy a Passat TDI Clean Diesel.
So it's like 2 deals in 1.
Exactly.
During the first ever Volkswagen TDI Clean Diesel event, get a great deal on a Passat TDI that gets up to 795 highway miles per tank. And get a $1,000 fuel reward card. It's like 2 deals in 1. Hurry in and get a $1,000 fuel reward card and 0.9% APR for 60 months on TDI models.
It's made with wholesome ingredients. It tastes great and it's competitively priced. That's H&K approved. Hearth & Kettle's 3-part approval process ensures that every meal coming out of our kitchens meets high standards for quality, taste, and value. Many of our ingredients are organic or all natural and free of hormones, antibiotics, and artificial preservatives. Wholesome ingredients, great taste, competitively priced. That's H&K approved. Hearth & Kettle in Hyannis, Yarmouth, Orleans, Plymouth, and Weymouth.
Toyota is #1 in value, but it gets better. Because we give you all new stylish Toyotas. Better yet, we give you great deals with the Toyota Gifts of Spring Savings Event. Receive our lowest $178 a month lease on an all-wheel drive RAV4 with no cost maintenance included. Or get 0 for 60 plus $500 bonus cash on Sienna, including all-wheel drive models. Hurry, Gifts of Spring will be wrapped up soon. Toyota, let's go places.
Boston's must-see dance event of the season is Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. Don't miss the world's most popular dance company at the City Rain Theater. May 1st through 4th only. For tickets, visit citycenter.org.
The Transportation Security Administration is expected to update its procedures for screening breast milk after a California mother sued. The woman says security screeners brought her to tears over the request not to x-ray her breast milk. Bagad Shaban spoke with the mom.
It feels great.
Stacey Armato says her tentative settlement with the TSA is a victory for all nursing moms. She was traveling with pumped breast milk for her 7-month-old son 4 years ago, which turned into a nightmare at the Phoenix airport.
The harassment I experienced that day and the lack of knowledge from some of those TSA agents just was unacceptable.
Armato says TSA officers on 2 separate occasions initially refused to follow their agency's own policy of providing alternative security screenings for bottles of breast milk, instead of pushing them to X-ray. Armato says she was detained for nearly an hour and even showed a TSA supervisor a printout of the guidelines.
And he looked at me and said, well, not today. And I had a choice to dump my milk or to put it through the X-ray.
And what went through your head?
I couldn't even believe it.
TSA officers eventually allowed the breast milk to skip the X-ray, but Armato's attorney, Robert Mosier, says the proposed settlement requires the TSA to clarify its procedures, retrain all of its officers, and update the agency's website to better guide breastfeeding mothers. The lawsuit was filed in 2012.
It took 2 years because the government said we did nothing wrong. We believe in our TSA officers and the conduct that they did.
The TSA says it isn't commenting since the proposed settlement has not been finalized. Bagad Shaban, CBS News, Los Angeles.
As part of the deal, Armato says the TSA has agreed to give her $75,000. She plans to use the money for legal expenses and will donate a portion to a local nonprofit that supports breastfeeding moms. We have much more still ahead here. The news at 6 starts right now.
A Monsignor admits to stealing tens of thousands of dollars.
I apologize to the many people who have been harmed by my actions.
Who he cheated and what he was doing with all of that money.
A school system's frustrating search for answers after a teacher's arrested on child pornography charges. The new steps taken to protect students and the questions that still can't be answered.
As the rain heads out, the wind moves in. Strong gusts over the next couple of days. We'll have a timeline for that, plus a look at the weekend.
And they barely escaped a wild encounter with a moose. But tonight, why the couple could be in trouble with the law.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 6 starts right now.
Cuffed and carried off to prison, a Monsignor sentenced after admitting he stole tens of thousands of dollars. He was using the money for himself and a boyfriend. I'm Paula Evan for Lisa Hughes.
And I'm Jack Williams. The priest was a high-ranking member of the Manchester, New Hampshire diocese. But he used the position to pad his own bank account, as our New Hampshire Bureau Chief Michael Rosenfield shows us tonight.
A one-time top church official in New Hampshire, now in handcuffs and heading off to prison. This just moments after Monsignor Edward Arsenault was sentenced for stealing.
By pleading guilty today, I publicly acknowledge that I broke the law in New Hampshire.
Prosecutors say Arsenault stole about $185,000 from the Diocese of Manchester, as well as the estate of a deceased priest and Catholic medical center. The crime enough to push this woman to leave the Catholic Church.
To tell you the truth, the best part of the day was to see those handcuffs go on his wrists. He has been an arrogant, I'm going to use a bad word, person.
Part of the money stolen, according to prosecutors, was used to fund a lavish lifestyle for Arsenault and his musician boyfriend.
In general, he used the money for entertainment purposes, for going out to dinner, for travel for himself and for another individual. There was extensive travel throughout the country.
In a statement, the current Bishop of Manchester said of the Arsenault guilty pleas, many of the faithful will be left with a profound sense of betrayal and mistrust. He has made some terrible mistakes.
I'm truly and sincerely sorry for what I did, and I apologize to the many people who have been harmed by my actions, including the priests and the faithful.
Arsenault will spend 4 years in the New Hampshire State Prison. He's also been ordered to pay $300,000 in restitution. In Manchester, New Hampshire, Michael Rosenfield, WBZ News.
A quick return to court today for the Cambridge teacher arrested on child pornography charges. Josh Wyrie agreed to stay in jail for now. Wyrie's accused of trading and making child porn. And as Beth Germano tells us, school administrators aren't sure yet whether Wyrie's students were also his victims.
I don't want to just tell people it's all going to be okay, because I don't know that it's all going to be okay.
The worry and frustration in the case of Cambridge elementary school teacher Josh Wyrie, charged with trading and collecting child pornography and videotaping children undressing. Superintendent Jeffrey Young says reassuring parents is difficult while the case is investigated.
When parents come to you and say, "Is it my child?" what do you tell them?
We tell them we have no information about that. That's strictly within the U.S. Attorney's hands.
Wyrie's arrest has shaken not only the Cambridge School District, but also Somerville, where he previously taught. Wyrie is currently a 5th grade teacher at the Graham and Park School in Cambridge, where police did a sweep this week to give parents some information.
Go through all the spaces throughout the entire building, and they found no hidden recording devices.
Federal officials say they are still poring over thousands of images, photographs, and videotapes, trying to identify potential victims and determine where the videotaping took place.
Parents feel it because they just want to be able to say, "Phew, I'm safe." Totally understandable.
Wyrie waived a detention hearing in federal court today, asking to be held voluntarily while the case is investigated. Family members have called the charges disgusting.
He has nothing else to say.
In the meantime, the school system is working with counselors to help parents and students while hoping for answers soon about Wyrie's contact with children. In Cambridge, Beth Germano, WBZ News.
Well, the weather got our attention today. 2 lightning strikes in Lexington. A maintenance worker at the Lexington Golf Club was struck out on the course. He wasn't seriously hurt. A couple of miles away, lightning struck a house on Tufts Road. A high schooler who lives there says he and his family felt the house shake when the lightning struck just above his bedroom window.
When I looked out the window, there was like ash coming out. When we opened the attic door, there was just fire everywhere.
Well, the family escaped from the house. Thank heavens nobody was hurt. Now we have to worry about wind, which is already causing problems. A strong gust may have blown this plywood right off a building under construction on busy Newberry Street today in Boston. Chief Meteorologist Eric Fisher joins us now with some changes. Eric.
Now, the wind's going to be the biggest story, certainly, as we head through tonight into tomorrow, and even tomorrow night. So a long period where the wind is not going to be our friend. The showers are just about winding down. More than just showers on Cape Cod. Some pretty heavy rainfall today, up to about an inch. Still mid and outer Cape, looking at that rain heaviest right along the national seashore, and still some showers over toward Nantucket. A couple hours, and then all that will be wrapping up. Wind gusts already over 30 miles per hour, up to 37 in Lawrence last hour, and we'll be gusting toward 40 all night long, toward 50 as we head into the day tomorrow. Temperatures falling back into the 30s. We will start to clear out and dry out as we head through tonight. But tomorrow morning certainly is going to be very gusty out the front door, and some of those gusts of 50 could bring down some trees tomorrow, so some more issues to contend with. Plus, with lower humidity and even with some of that rainfall today, will be an increased fire risk tomorrow, especially central Mass, where we didn't see as much rain from this particular system. We'll talk more about that when we get out of here, what we expect for this weekend coming up. Paula?
We'll see you then, Eric. Thanks. Just into the WBZ newsroom, a new attack against a woman on Harvard's campus in Cambridge. The woman says she was going to her apartment in Peabody Terrace when a man exposed himself to her. She later saw him in the building and then called police. She was able to safely get inside her apartment. But this warning comes after 2 attacks nearby in Somerville and Cambridge. Police are releasing this sketch after a second woman was attacked near the Porter Square T station on Monday night. The undergraduate student was walking along Beacon Street in Cambridge about 1 a.m. when a man grabbed her. She was able to fight him off, but women are taking notice.
I've started walking very fast and always looking over my shoulder, even though I believe in this community and I think that there are really wonderful people around me. It just makes you think twice.
A similar attack happened on April 16th. Police are reminding women to be aware of their surroundings and remove earbuds when walking alone.
And the MBTA is trying to identify the man who indecently assaulted 2 different women. Transit police say on April the 8th, this man assaulted a woman at the Park Street station. Then he got on a trolley, did the same thing to another woman at the Arlington station. Now at 6 o'clock, a driver finally tracked down. Police say that she hit and killed an elderly man more than 1 week ago. But her lawyer says she didn't know what happened.
As Ken McLeod explains, the woman thought she was the one under attack the night something shattered her windshield.
Elizabeth Marcarell insists she didn't know she'd plowed into an elderly man, and the victim's friends don't believe her.
When you hit somebody, you get scared, you play with drinking or whatever, and went home.
The 24-year-old suspect says she drove into Worcester during the wee hours of April 12th to meet an upset friend, but encountered unknown trouble in front of this McDonald's on Main Street.
Something struck her windshield, cracked the windshield. She didn't know what it was. She thought somebody maybe threw something at the car.
But prosecutors allege she had actually hit and killed 83-year-old Albert Cicilla in this crosswalk, despite swerving and braking upon spotting him. He lived at this nearby rest home, and neighbors would often buy coffee and donuts as he ambled about.
And they want to pay you back. Tell them, no, Al, keep your money, keep your money. No, I don't take charity. And they pay it back. He hit the watch off one time and gave it to a guy for a coffee.
The suspect says she would have pulled over to check out the damage to her minivan and the circumstances, but didn't because this is Worcester's Main South neighborhood with a nasty reputation for street crime.
Furthermore, did not report any type of accident to the police.
In fact, after failing to hook up with her friend, she went home to Leicester, where days later the minivan's windshield and headlight got fixed. And then a family friend called about a fatal unsolved hit and run.
As a result of that, they started to think, geez, maybe she was involved in some sort of an accident, although she didn't know it.
She had to know. You got a broken windshield, the guy's leaning across your windshield, you know something happened.
Mark Arell surrendered yesterday and was today charged with motor vehicle homicide and leaving the scene. She is free on bond, but can't drive. In Worcester, Ken McLeod, WBZ News.
Well, the spring house selling season is off to a slow start, but there's a good reason. The Massachusetts Association of Realtors says that the March sales were actually down about 11.5% from last year. But that's mainly because there simply aren't enough homes on the market. Now, homes that are going up for sale, this is interesting. They'll last about 122 days on the market before being sold, but that is down from 140 days 1 year ago. Coming up on WBZ News, a college campus rattled by 2 bomb threats. Now, a student is blamed. How police figure out he was the one behind this hoax.
A New Hampshire couple may have more than just this amazing video to remember their run-in with a moose, how it could land them in trouble with the law.
You're going to love Wednesday's Child tonight. Looking pretty stylish on Wednesday's Child. You're going to adore Danny, a little 6-year-old boy, and yes, he wants a family.
When we're here at the midweek, we'll look forward to the end of the week and the weekend. Little spoiler alert, some cool air and a lot of wind.
Sealy Posturepedic Hybrid. This week, get a free $200 Bernie and Phil's gift card with any Sealy Posturepedic Hybrid sleep system. The Hybrid provides conforming gel memory foam and the deep down support of springs.
It's award season. These are awards, and this is the award-winning Chrysler 200. Now, awards can take you places. Ditto for the car. The awards help you live life in the fast lane. So does the car. By the way, the 200 is a top safety pick, unlike awards, which are no career safety net.
The show's almost over, but you can still get a great deal. Get a low-mileage lease on 200 Limited Sedan for $109 a month for well-qualified lessees or $6,000 total cash allowance.
This was once my street. It's time to turn the street lights back on, to turn the close sign around. This street does have a name. This is Main Street, where we are made in America, with pride, with peace, with positive energy. Alex and Ani.
Looks can be deceiving. It's certainly true with furniture. The 2 items may appear to be the same, but are they? At Boston Interiors, all of the upholstered furniture is made in America. Each piece is crafted with high-grade American hardwood, reinforced block corners, and eco-friendly materials. So when you shop at Boston Interiors, you buy furniture that's great-looking and long-lasting.
Visit Boston Interiors today and save during our spring home sale. The smarter you are about furniture, the more you'll love Boston Interiors.
Spring into excitement at Foxwoods Resort Casino. Sunday, April 27th, we're giving away a Stratos Evolution fishing boat, plus 4 lucky winners. Each receive $1,000 in bonus slot play, all guaranteed. The excitement continues with superstar shows like Julio Iglesias, Bill Maher, and Alice in Chains. And don't miss Wine and Design with Drunken Palette every Friday in April starting at 8 p.m. It's spring, so bring on the fun at the new Foxwoods Resort Casino.
Tell me about the Honda Civic. It's the most durable, longest-lasting car in its class.
Can I stay in touch?
Bluetooth and text message reader comes standard. Does it rock? Pandora compatibility, standard.
Where am I?
The Honda sales event of your dreams.
This is not a drill. Get a great deal during the Spring Into a Honda sales event. Now, at your Honda dealer.
Why sleep on a no-name mattress when you can have a Sealy for less?
The Sealy Posturepedic Classic at Bernie and Phil's.
Classic Posturepedic quality, starting at just $3.99 for a queen set.
Come see why Bernie and Phil's is the #1 Sealy dealer in New England.
Police say that a UMass Boston student is the one who's been phoning in bomb threats and panicking the campus. Twice in the last week, someone called to say there was a bomb inside one of the buildings in UMass. Nothing was ever found. The school now says that Dean Beckford, he's a 29-year-old senior from Somerville, made the calls from payphones at MBTA stations. Well, MBTA police identified Beckford on surveillance video. DA says Beckford simply told police, hey, he wasn't doing well in classes. A couple who recorded a terrifying encounter with a moose could be in trouble. Janice and Bob Powell of Belmont, New Hampshire, are now being investigated by the Maine Warden Service. The service says the couple may have followed the moose and could be charged with harassment. That carries a $500 fine. The couple encountered the moose last week while snowmobiling in Jackman, Maine. They scared the moose off when Janice Powell fired a warning shot.
The Vatican is preparing for Sunday's ceremonies in which two popes will become saints. Pope John Paul II and Pope John the 23rd will be canonized this weekend, but the services will reflect the simple style of the church's current leader, Pope Francis. 3 years ago, when John Paul was canonized, the Vatican held a massive vigil, which cost the church more than $1.5 million. The Vatican says there will be no vigil, and the canonization mass will be a simple affair. Still, the Vatican is expecting as many as 7 million visitors. I'll be traveling to Rome for the services. My live reports will start Friday at 5.
I look forward to that.
It's really going to be spectacular.
Well, I wish I could say our weather was spectacular. I was thinking today how lucky we were to get the marathon in when we did.
The timing could not have been better. Our chief meteorologist, Eric Fisher, has been getting high fives and smiles about that since Monday, because now we've had all kinds of things come down.
Yeah, today would not have been a fun one to be running outside, that's for sure, especially on the Cape. Check out the hail covering the ground, mixing in with the daffodils here in Hyannis. Chris sent this picture in, received a bunch of photos like this. Kind of a different setup than what we see in the summertime. We are heating the ground, and that creates your instability. Today, it's colder aloft, and that's how you're creating that big temperature difference over height in the atmosphere. That's why you're getting the hail. Darlene sent this one in. Hail in Chatham mixing in with some of the springtime flowers. The rain's still holding on, mid and outer Cape in particular. Most of this is from the canal eastward at this point. Westward, we're drying out. Still a lot of clouds around on the map. They'll start to break apart as we head through the overnight. So slowly, things clear out. The rain will move offshore, but the wind is going to stick around for a while. Not at Fenway Park. Big game for the Red Sox, taking on the Yanks. You see the back and forth movement with the wind here on our weather bug camera, gusting well over 30 miles per hour. Could be a good night for lefties. The wind blowing out toward right field. Ortiz wants to pull one. Tonight will be a good night to do it. Temperatures in the 40s, drying out, but it will be awfully chilly with that wind. Same story tomorrow night. It'll be brighter, a little bit milder in terms of the temperature, but still very gusty, same direction, blowing out toward right field. So here's a look at those winds. They should be gusting up around 40 miles per hour this evening, overnight tonight, and into tomorrow morning. Now, tomorrow, as we head into the day, some of these gusts could reach up to 50 miles per hour. And that could bring down maybe some lines, some trees, not out of the question, not exactly what we call destructive winds, but there could be some issues because of that. Plus, with lower humidity, you've got a higher brush fire risk. So be extra careful. You don't have any open flames outside tomorrow. Finally, by the time we get to Friday morning, those winds will be dying down. Low temperatures tonight, staying in the 30s, right near the freezing mark in Fitchburg, 31 in Keene, Boston down to about 40 degrees. As we head toward tomorrow, seasonably cool, 58 in Middleborough, Sharon up to about 56. As we move toward Metro West in Worcester County, 52 in Worcester, Clinton up to around 54 degrees. Mix of sun and some fair weather clouds. Waltham up to about 57. Topsfield, you're topping out at 56 for tomorrow. Break in the action on Friday, nice end to the week, high pressure in control, lots of sunshine and less wind, so it should be a good one to get outside. We'll see the clouds start to move in Friday evening, the rain showers Friday night, and then another disturbance rotates through on Saturday. This should bring a pretty wet start to the weekend, kind of similar to what we saw today, with some pop-up showers and maybe even some small hail. And then as we head toward next week, here's the setup. A couple cutoff lows, big area high pressure over Canada. This is going to slow down the whole weather works. Nothing will be moving quickly. This is the main one we're going to watch take over. Big trough in the eastern United States, and the squeeze play between these two means a big onshore flow, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday of next week, which means not a lot of big-time warmth in the forecast as we had these final days of April and off into the start of May. Here's the AccuWeather 7-day forecast. I think the best day of all these is Friday. We'll be a little bit cooler at the coast. Looks pretty wet on Saturday. We might be able to dodge some of these showers, but definitely umbrella weather. One of those showers may linger into Sunday, a cool end of the weekend, and certainly cool next week. Our next chance of rain coming in Tuesday into Wednesday. Paula, Jack, back to you.
Eric, thanks so much. And very nice. The Boston Marathon champion gets to throw at the first pitch at Fenway tonight.
And we hope that our Red Sox do a little better tonight.
Yeah, they could use it. As Eric mentioned, Ortiz, any lefties? I think they have 5 lefties in the lineup. The wind, when I left there a few minutes ago, howling from left to right, so maybe it'll help them. We shall see. All right, after being throttled by the Yankees last night, as the Sox will look to bounce back tonight with John Lackey on the hill over at Fenway Park. However, the Sox righty has struggled in his last 2 outings, allowing 12 runs and 20 hits in just 11 innings of work. Needs to be better. Meanwhile, Daniel Nava has been struggling all season, so today, Red Sox sending the outfielder down to Pawtucket. Nava just 10 for 69 on the season, hitting a disappointing 149. The Sox needed to add a reliever to the roster, so they called up Alex Wilson. Sox manager John Farrell says Nava wasn't pleased with the decision, but it was a necessary one.
I just feel like there needs to be more of a consistent two-strike approach. I felt like there are times that he tried to hit with a little bit too much power rather than that hitter of average that will hit occasional home runs. And then he needs to get some work on the right side of the plate as well.
Well, it was a big night for Nava's former teammate Jacoby Ellsbury last night. The New York Yankees outfielder heard mostly boos when he was announced to the Fenway faithful, but it didn't seem to bother him one bit, leading the game off with a triple to center. Later on, he took a base hit away from Grady Sizemore in the bottom of the inning with a nice sliding catch in left center field, as we've seen him do many, many times before. And then in the fifth, he chased John Lester from the game with this two-run double to left center that put the Yankees up 7-2. Meanwhile, the Bruins are in Detroit today, feeling pretty good about themselves after dominating the Red Wings in Game 3 of their first-round playoff series last night. The Bees now lead the series 2-1 and hope to go up 3-1 tomorrow night at Joe Louis Arena. Game 3 was a good night for the Bruins, especially their youngsters. Defenseman Dougie Hamilton got the Bees on board with his first ever playoff goal in the first period, and then later in that period, it was Jordan Caron's turn to score his first postseason goal, putting the Bees up 2-0. Great effort here. Bees went on to win it 3-0, and afterwards talked about the importance of getting contributions up and down the lineup.
Yeah, that's what you expect in the playoffs. You need all four lines to contribute, and that's why we've been so good all year. We have four good lines, and every night a different line steps up and contributes.
I think it's awesome, and you need that in the playoffs. You know, you need that depth, and we've been lucky enough to get that in the past years too. And you know, Jordy, you know, he hasn't had the easiest year. He's been in and out of lineup, and then, you know, when you need him, he always steps up, and I'm happy for him to get that goal. And I thought Dougie had a great game today.
Yeah, Tuukka did too. All right, lastly, the NFL schedule for 2014 will officially be announced tonight. We'll know where and when and which teams the Patriots will be playing coming up this fall. And back to Meg Keflezighi throwing out the first pitch tonight. Talking to David Ross, said one of the Orioles players came up to bat and said, "Hey, did you hear an American won the men's Boston Marathon?" And so he was the talk of even inside Fenway Park in the game the other night.
Lots of pictures with him tonight.
He's a great champion. He's just so full of personality. All right, thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. The CBS Evening News is coming up at 6:30.
Scott Pelley once again joins us live from New York City with a preview. Scott?
Jack, Paula, great to be with you in Boston, Georgia today. Passed what is probably the country's most expansive gun rights law. It allows people to carry guns in some surprising new places, and it limits what police officers can do. Interesting story. We're going to lead the broadcast with it tonight, and we'll have the rest of the CBS Evening News for you coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Scott. Coming up next on Wednesday's Child, building a new life for Danny. Ah, he's a sweet, cute little boy. I guarantee you, he'll make you smile.
Okay. New CBS Thursday.
Mycroft, what are you doing here?
Sherlock's brother returns.
Have you come back here to sleep with Watson again? Hello?
But there's more than love.
What is that noise?
Metal striking glass. It's not an insect. It's a machine. In the air.
Is there a bug in here?
He's been killed by drones.
It's like something from a sci-fi movie.
A new Elementary, CBS Thursday. Catch up online, on demand, or on the CBS app.
Take the Ford EcoBoost Challenge and you'll choose F-150 with V8 power and V6 fuel economy. Now it feels so good to get up to $7,250 total savings on F-150, New England's #1 truck. And EcoBoost in F-150 can tow more than any other engine in its class, up to 11,300 pounds. Lock in up to $7,250 total savings on F-150 during the Ford EcoBoost Challenge.
In 2007, the Red Sox won the World Championship, and we gave away over $30 million worth of free furniture to over 25,000 families. Well, if you've been sleeping on the same mattress since 2007, it's time for a new one. And now is the best time to buy. Purchase any Beauty Rest mattress, and if the Red Sox win the World Championship this season, it'll be yours free. In fact, buy anything in our store, and if the Sox win, it'll all be yours free. It's the Monster Repeat, and it's going on now.
It's a real estate jungle out there. That's why we've let a lion loose in your neighborhood. But there's no need to run. This lion is on your side every step of the way. Lear, real Realty Partners. We're one of the largest real estate firms in New England, with over 300 experienced agents, a 15-year track record, and the latest tools, roaring into the market with a brand new name, Lair Realty Partners. The roar that opens more doors.
At Southern New Hampshire University, we traveled across the country to celebrate the success of our online students who couldn't attend graduation.
Thank you guys for giving me a chance again. It's something that I worked for a long time.
Because we believe student success is success worth celebrating.
Who did you get this degree for? I got it for me.
I did this for my mom.
I did it for you.
Congratulations, Daddy.
Find your online graduate or undergraduate program today at smhu.edu.
Toyota is #1 in value, but it gets better. Because we give you all new stylish Toyotas. Better yet, we give you great deals with the Toyota Gifts of Spring Savings Event. Receive our lowest lease on a Prius C, just $97 a month with no cost maintenance included. Or get best ever 0 for 60 plus $750 bonus cash on a Prius liftback. Hurry, Gifts of Spring will be wrapped up soon. Toyota, let's go places.
Now, on Wednesday's Child, an adorable 6-year-old boy who wants to be a policeman when he grows up.
His name is Danny. Now, even though he's quiet and soft-spoken, I try to convince him to consider an alternative career choice. You look like an anchorman. Anchorman. Anchorman Danny. Wednesday's Child, right?
Wednesday's Child.
I knew you were a natural. You got that look, you know what I mean? I took this budding anchorman Danny to the Lego store at the Navy Collection. Everybody loved it.
I share.
You share? Well, that's good. Do you help around the house? Like what?
I clean the bedroom.
You clean the bedroom. Do you paint the garage? Do you put on a new roof? No. Jeez. What are you, a slacker?
He's a wonderful little boy. He needs to be loved and cared for. He's a delightful child.
He's certainly easy to get along with, isn't he?
He is. He has a great smile. He has a great sense of humor. He's very playful. He loves animals. He's a fun little boy. And he just really needs a great home.
Goodbye, everybody. I hope I find a family.
The sweetie pie.
Oh, he just is. You know, you just want to just hug him. He's, you know, it's hard for him. He misses his family.
Oh, of course.
And, but he is such a sweet little boy. I think the right family, this little boy is just going to grow and be happy.
Look out, he'll be an anchorman.
I hope so. He'll replace me in 20, 30 years. All right. For more information on a little Danny, call the Massachusetts Adoption Resource Exchange, 1-800-882-1176. You can always check out my website for success stories, JackWilliamsWednesdaysChild.com.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning is brought to you by 90.9 WUR, Boston's NPR news station. News and conversation that puts context around events happening in Boston, across the country, and world.
The world's eyes turned to Boston. This was our moment, and together, we finished the race.
This is a marathon unlike anything we have ever seen.
WBZ-TV congratulates all the runners for a Patriots Day like no other.
It's just a great energy out here.
This year and every year, we are proud to be the only local station to bring you every moment of the race. WBZ Channel 4, your official home of the Boston Marathon.
Spring has finally arrived, and a Subaru with symmetrical all-wheel drive can help you enjoy it. Love the road you're on in a brand new Subaru Forester, Motor Trend's 2014 Sport Utility of the Year. Drive home a brand new Subaru Forester, a top safety pick plus for only $21,995. Plus, get 1.9% financing for up to 48 months. Get a great deal and go love spring.
spreader and save time. Just turn it on and go. It makes lawn care easy.
Sometimes the best spine surgery may be no surgery at all. At Brigham and Women's, spine surgeons and other specialists work together to first offer innovative non-surgical solutions. If surgery is needed, these experts pioneer the latest advances and set standards nationwide, including surgeries done through ever smaller incisions, so patients can get back to what they enjoy sooner. Life-giving breakthroughs. It all starts here. Brigham and Women's Spine Center.
It's Bernie and Phil's Triple Play. And you get it free right away. Don't wait. Enjoy the furniture today and take your choice of free tax, free delivery, free interest until 2017. Best of all, there is no minimum, no money down, and no waiting.
The Triple Play. Get it today.
But only for a limited time at
Bernie and Phil. Bernie, comfort and price. That's nice.
Don't miss the Bach Honda Spring into a Honda sales event at one of our two great locations. Bach Honda on the Auto Mile, Route 1 in Norwood, or Bach Honda West on Littleton Road in Westford, Mass. Drive home a brand new Honda CR-V for just $99 per month. That's right, lease a brand new Honda CR-V for only $99 per month. Two great Bach Honda locations, one legendary low Bach Honda price.
Well, times are changing. A neighborhood hardware store in Dorchester is closing for good after 92 years.
Through 3 owners and countless economic ups and downs, Hamilton Hardware survived. But the rise of Home Depot and Lowe's has been too much. The owners, brothers Mark and Paul O'Brien, told the Boston Globe they knew this day was coming, but it doesn't make it any easier. Hard to say goodbye to those local institutions.
No. You can tell me where to go. Go, I mean, more ways than one. Go get a nail, son. How's the weather? A little cold at Fenway.
If you don't want it to fly away, bring it inside. Lots of wind through tonight and tomorrow.
Thank you, Eric.
Sounds like an interesting night. That does it for us. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you at 11.